Imagine that instead of checking the weather forecast in Europe, you'd be looking at the weather on Mars. Mars, that red dot in the night sky, could become our second home. Of course, before we start booking tickets for interplanetary vacations, we face a small, or rather huge, problem. Mars is not ready to welcome us with open arms. It lacks atmosphere, water, and temperatures are more variable than a teenager's moods. Meet Mars terraforming. The main steps of terraforming Mars involve a series of complex and ambitious tasks. Creating an atmosphere. Imagine Mars as a big balloon that needs to be inflated. To create an atmosphere, we need to warm the planet and release gases that will form a protective layer around it. One idea is to use greenhouse gases to trap solar heat. Yes, the same gases that cause global warming on Earth could work to our advantage here. Recent studies suggest that carbon dioxide stored in the Martian soil and ice caps could be the key to creating an atmosphere. If we could release these reserves, we could raise the atmospheric pressure on Mars to a level that could support liquid water. Water everywhere. Mars is as dry as a desert, but we know that rivers once flowed there. To restore water, we would need to melt the ice caps at the poles and release frozen water from beneath the surface. It's a bit like defrosting a refrigerator, but on a gigantic scale. NASA has discovered subsurface lakes near the south pole of Mars. These hidden reservoirs of water could become a source for future terraforming. Imagine these hidden lakes as a secret treasure waiting to be discovered. Planting forests. After creating the atmosphere and water, it's time for greenery. Plants not only look nice, but also produce oxygen. Planting forests on Mars could help create a stable ecosystem. Imagine Martian trees, maybe even with red leaves, perfectly matching the planet's color. Recent research on genetically modified plants suggests that we could create superplants capable of surviving Mars' harsh conditions. It's like growing superhero plants on Mars. Modern technologies for terraforming. 3D printing on Mars. Printing buildings from local materials could be the key to building infrastructure on Mars. Imagine a house-sized 3D printer that uses Martian regolith, the local soil, instead of plastic. These types of printers could build everything from protective domes to roads, saving transportation costs of materials from Earth. Nuclear reactors. Nuclear energy could provide the necessary power to heat Mars' atmosphere and power future colonies. Small, modular nuclear reactors, being developed by NASA and other agencies, could be crucial in providing stable energy on Mars. It's like having a portable power plant small enough to fit on a spacecraft. Autonomous robots. Before humans set foot on Mars, an army of robots could prepare the ground. These autonomous machines could build structures, dig wells, and even plant crops. Imagine landing on Mars and everything is ready, thanks to our mechanical helpers. Biotechnological innovations. Genetically modified microorganisms could survive Mars' harsh conditions and aid in the terraforming process. These microbes could turn dead soil into fertile ground, produce oxygen, and even help extract water. It's like an army of microscopic gardeners working day and night to make Mars green. Recent research and developments. The MOXIE project. The Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, or MOXIE, part of the Mars 2020 mission, is one of the latest technologies being tested on Mars. MOXIE converts carbon dioxide from the Martian atmosphere into oxygen. If this experiment is successful, we could produce oxygen directly on Mars, which is crucial for future manned missions. Subsurface lakes. In 2020, scientists discovered a network of subsurface lakes near the south pole of Mars. These lakes, containing salty water, could be a valuable source for terraforming, providing not only water but also potentially sheltering microorganisms that could survive in extreme conditions. Climate simulations. Recent climate simulations conducted by NASA and other organizations show that releasing just 2% of the stored carbon dioxide from Martian soil could raise the planet's temperature by a few degrees Celsius. Although this is just the first step, it shows that small changes can have a big impact on Mars's climate. Genetically modified plants. Scientists are working on creating plants that could survive Mars' harsh conditions. Research on plants resistant to cold, drought, and cosmic radiation is being conducted on Earth, and future experiments could bring breakthroughs in growing plants on Mars. How scientists envision Mars terraforming. Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX, is one of the biggest advocates of Mars terraforming. According to his plans, SpaceX aims to send the first humans to Mars in the coming years. Musk suggests that we could use thermonuclear charges at Mars's poles to release frozen carbon dioxide and warm the planet. It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but who knows, it might work. NASA is working on various technologies that could help in Mars terraforming. From exploring subsurface lakes to developing new energy production methods. NASA plans to gradually introduce technologies that will be tested on Mars to see which are the most effective. Computer simulations. Scientists use advanced computer simulations to model different terraforming scenarios. These simulations help understand what changes need to occur for Mars to become habitable. Imagine a computer game on a huge scale, where every decision can change the fate of an entire planet. Challenges and obstacles. Of course, Mars terraforming is not a piece of cake. We need technology that doesn't exist yet, lots of time, we're talking hundreds of years, and huge financial resources. Additionally, we need to deal with the problem of cosmic radiation, which is much stronger on Mars than on Earth. It's like trying to turn an old ruined castle into a modern hotel. It requires a lot of work, ideas, and patience. Cosmic radiation on Mars is a real enemy, constantly attacking the planet's surface. One idea is to build huge protective domes or underground cities where people could live safely. It can be compared to living in a giant aquarium, except that we would be the fish. Myths and reality. Mars terraforming is a topic that raises a lot of emotions and generates many myths. Here are a few of them. Mars is too far. The truth is, Mars is the closest planet we can travel to. A trip to Mars takes about 6 to 9 months, which in cosmic terms is not that long. Mars is dead and always will be. Although Mars is not as alive as Earth, recent discoveries indicate that there may be more geological and chemical activity than we expected. Mars is not as dead as it seems. Mars terraforming is a fascinating idea that sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. However, each year science brings us closer to what once seemed impossible. Maybe one day we will have bases on Mars, and our red neighbor will become a new, exciting home for humanity. Will it succeed? Time will tell, but one thing is certain. Our journey to the stars is just beginning. For now, we can only dream, plan, and cheer on the scientists who are trying to make Mars a place where we can drink Martian coffee with a view of the Great Canyon Valles Marineris. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll meet there. Make the background music inspiring.